Hey teachers, let's talk really quickly about the Bible translations. I know this has been really exciting for everyone to know that we can use other Bible translations. I hope that this will really help your students. We're always telling them to go to the scriptures to find answers. And if they go to the scriptures and they're completely frustrated because they can't understand it, they're going to stop going to the scriptures. So we want to help make the scriptures more accessible and easier for them to understand, and this will really bless their lives. And I hope it blesses you too with your own personal study. So let me show you a couple of things. First, go to Gospel Library and go to the Scriptures section and scroll down until you see this translations and formats. And then let's go to the ones for the Holy Bible. Now, look at these sections that I've highlighted. Generally, members use a church preferred or church published edition of the Bible in church classes and meetings. Great, that's the King James Version when we're in English. Then, some individuals may benefit from translations that are both doctrinally clear and also easier to understand. And right here, it would be appropriate to use a simpler Bible translation for youth and children or any who would benefit. This is the church policy, so it's not dumbing it down. It's not taking them away from the true scriptures. This is something that is recommended, and we can, of course, not abandon the King James Version, but use these in together. So let's go down to the English language and see the ones that are recommended. I've highlighted a few here. For 9th to 11th grade, the English Standard Version or the New Revised Standard Version. For 6th to 8th grade reading level, New International Version, New Living Translation, and the New King James Version. So I'm going to show you how to use one of these to help you as you are specifically teaching a seminary classroom. I'm just going to go to here and look up Bible Hub. If you notice, there's all of these different translations. KJV is up here as well, right there. That's King James Version. New Living Translation and New International Version were two of them that were recommended on the in Gospel Library. I am going to put up here Isaiah chapter 26. Isaiah seems to be a common book that's difficult to understand, so let's start with Isaiah. Right now it's showing me the Berean Standard Bible, and I want to actually just do a parallel study with the New Living Translation. And then over here, the other parallel I want to use is King James Version. So now I've got New Living and King James, and I can come down here and read them side by side. Like, let's look at this. All whose thoughts are fixed on you. Okay, that makes more sense to a youth than whose mind is stayed on thee. So the King James Version is a little bit tricky to understand when we use that phrase stayed on thee, but the phrase fixed on you is much easier to understand. So we can look at the New Living Translation, get the understanding of that, and then we can come back to King James Version, say, okay, I get what that's talking about. Right here, when it says, trust in the Lord always, for the Lord God is the eternal rock, that is great. I actually really like this phrase in the King James Version a little bit better. Everlasting strength. I love thinking of strength. So for me, I like verse 4 in the King James Version better than the New Living Translation. Another option could be the Blue Letter Bible. And on this one, we can do the same. Let's look up Isaiah 26. And then as we have it right here, it's in the King James Version, we can look at parallel and we can choose, let's choose the New International Version. So we can go through verse by verse and compare them side by side. So those are the two that I usually use, the Blue Letter Bible or the Bible Hub. There's others, but those are the ones I typically use. When you're preparing your lesson, look up some of those verses that are referenced in your lesson and see if there's any of them that would benefit from having a side-by-side comparison. Because sometimes King James Version is totally great, the kids get it, but if there's a tricky one, you might want to direct them straight to that particular verse. Or you could just show it on the screen and you don't even have to take the time to go in and look it up. You could just show it on the screen and show that you're comparing another translation, and then they can see that, gain a stronger understanding, and then you move on. It doesn't have to take a lot of time, but it takes a little bit of planning on your part to see if there are verses that you would want to utilize a different translation for in your lesson. Also, there are apps for these, for Blue Letter Bible or Bible Hub. So download those apps and it can help you as you're doing your personal study. And if you feel like you really want to have some extra help navigating these sites, there's a lot of different ways that you can use these sites. But if you want help, I'd love to jump on a Zoom with you and we can learn together. So let me know if you want some help.